Sit, relax, welcome. It's Friday, and it's Make Your Day Richer. I am your host, Richard Wilmore. My guest doesn't just talk about success, he teaches it. Bill Barnett is a media veteran, entrepreneur, and founder of the Smarter Minds Network. His groundbreaking Playbook for Life is equipping Gen Z with the life skills schools don't teach: money, mindset, and how to win the real world. From Radio Disney to financial clarity, he's helping students, veterans, and everyday folks build confidence and income. So if that sounds like a good show to you, click that like button, click that share button, and we'll start the show.
Make your day richer than it was before. Got some good times knocking upon your front door.
Bill, thanks so much for being here.
Pleasure. Good to be with you.
I want to start off right off the bat with the book, Smarter Minds, Recruit and Leverage Others for Sustainable Success. Great title. And the joke inside of my head was like, we'll find people and take advantage of them. But I know that's not what this is. Tell everybody what they'll find in the book.
Yeah. So you know what? That's not a bad thing, what you just said. I'm happy when other people take advantage of my knowledge and what I've done. And I talk about in the book quite a bit about a personal board of directors. And a personal board of directors works both ways. I'm there to help my friends and my associates and my people that I have in my life, and I know that they're there for me. I have found that it is a lot easier to swim downstream than it is to swim upstream. And when you think you can do everything yourself, when you think you're the best at everything, generally that gets you into trouble. So I have found my life to be a lot easier by saying, you know what, you're a little better at this than I am. This person is a little better. So I bring my people into my world and they make my life easier. And I really hope that I do that for other people.
Oh, and then my brain went right to entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, of like those of us who have businesses that we have to do everything ourselves because we don't have a staff, we don't have the money to go hire people. Is that also kind of who this book is for as well, to kind of help us with that part of it?
It is, and I want to dissect what you said a little bit. Even when you're a solopreneur, and I have started several companies, you see it in my book. I've started several companies. Even when I started them on my own, I still had my board of directors. I still had people that I could rely on and get. I got to tell you, no matter what it is I'm doing, I call other people just to get their advice. Even if it's something I think I know more about, I want somebody else's opinion. It makes my opinion stronger, and I have more confidence in what I'm doing if I have it supported by other people that I trust. So even when you're a solopreneur, you're not a solopreneur. You still have people that you can trust, that you can rely on, and you can get good advice from. So I always have people in my life, no matter what stage I am with my company.
And I think for me, I do a lot of networking. So I'm out meeting people, and through that, because then people come the same way and go, well, I've always wanted to start a podcast, but I don't know how to do that. And like, I'm actually, when this is over, going to meet some people who called and said that same thing. Like, can you help us figure out how to do this? And I think that's, especially in the virtual world. Oh yeah, go.
And when you help them, that comes around, because somebody else down the line is going to help you. It's kind of like paying it forward. I mentor a lot of people. I went to USC in LA here, and I mentor kids all the time, and I speak at SC all the time. I'm not going into it thinking that that's going to benefit me in some way, but in some way, shape, or form, it always comes back to help.
Yeah. Where did this idea come from for the book? Like, I know you have such a long history of business, owning business, selling it with success. And so we could be here forever, but the Cliff Notes version.
It's a great story. So before COVID, I was hiring somebody, and I went to somebody at USC to get some referrals. And she happened to Google me and saw one of the speeches that I did, and it was called "Every Day is an Interview," and which is one of the chapters in my book. And she said, "God, I really like that a lot." And she said, "Would you be interested in doing teaching a class here at SC called Every Day is an Interview?" And it's a very practical class. It's what's in the real world. So I started writing it up, and 5 pages turned into 70 pages. And then COVID hit, and they stopped classes, personal classes. It all became virtual. So I sat with this file in my filing cabinet for about 2 or 3 years. And I said, you know what? I've got 70 pages written. I'm going to turn this into a book. Lo and behold, it turned into Smarter Minds.
Here we are. What, did you ever, was writing a book ever on your bucket list?
You know, it wasn't, you know, maybe if somebody said you want to write a book one day, I would have said maybe, but it wasn't anywhere in my top 10 list. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. Who would you say that the book is for? Like, who should be buying this book?
Yeah. So I have several groups of people that I talk to. I guess that's the easiest way to start. So I've been working with veterans for a long time. And mostly I was chairman of the board of an organization in San Diego called the Rosie Network. And we help transitioning veterans, but we mostly help their wives that are starting their own businesses, because a lot of the men, and it's about 90%, it was 90% women, 10% of men, and vice versa for serving. The men were serving and the women were supporting their families. And they said, God, we're moving all the time. We're getting transferred from city to city. I need to start my own business. So we worked with about 200 or 300 women over the 2 years that I was with the Rosie Network, and we helped them start their own businesses. I also work with parents that are coming back to work after raising kids. They've been out of the workforce for a while. Older people in transition that have been fired or let go from jobs they've had for 20 or 30 years. But my main audience, the audience I love the most, are young professionals just out of school, or people in college that are graduating. They're trying to find themselves and trying to establish what their career is going to be. That's the audience I love the most.
And it feels like, especially since COVID, that so many people and so many younger people are starting businesses, and even like you're seeing a lot of older people who are getting out of the workforce and going, I'm going to do this for myself.
Yeah, that's exactly right. There's a huge proliferation of people starting their own businesses. And I think a lot of it is spurred by the internet. People can have these businesses on these different, they can start their own website. It's much easier in some ways to start a business. I don't know that I recommend that to somebody right out of school. I always like to get experience. When I started my career, I worked at an ad agency, and then I worked for a company that was a radio rep firm. And then after I was there for 3 years, I started my own radio production company. But those 3 or 4 years that I had in the ad business and the radio business were instrumental in my success in starting my own radio production company, because I had the experience, I had a few years under my belt, and I had a lot of contacts. So I think it's very difficult, and certain people could do it. I mean, there are certain people right out of the gate that have a great idea and just go for it. I will never tell anybody not to. But I am a believer in getting some experience under your belt to just kind of grow a little bit, get experience of life a little bit, learn how to deal with people, learn how to kind of move into the world from your college life.
What's your take on like the boom of TikTok influencers and these people that are making seemingly an insane amount of money just by posting random videos and then calling that a business? Like, is that sustainable?
Yeah, so I don't know if it's sustainable. I had somebody in a class that I was just talking to that did that, and they were making a lot of money, and they were doing pretty well. And I said to them, make sure, if nothing else, you save that money and you invest that money, because next week, next month, next year, you could be out of business. But if you're making money now, capitalize on it. I can't tell you how many people that I've talked to, young adults, that just don't, and I don't mean to change subject here, don't know how to save their money. They don't know how to put it away. So I think there's a lot of great experiences people can get out of doing their TikTok or doing their reels or whatever it is they're doing. I think a lot of people can benefit from that. And you grow that way. And it's a great thing to have on a resume that I did this, I did that. But make sure that you're planning for your future.
Is that your biggest advice for new entrepreneurs?
It is. My biggest advice is to have a firm hold of your financial well-being. Starting a company, it's like building a house. It takes twice as long and twice as much money as you were planning on. And I've had several businesses, and I got to tell you, I've had success with a few of them. Some of them took longer to build than I thought. I was on teetering several times on how I was going to make payroll for the very few people that I had. So it's a nerve-wracking thing to start your own business. You've got to be financially stable. And as you move on with your life, you will see that nothing helps you sleep better than knowing that you have financial stability.
How do you know going into, if you are an entrepreneur, when to give it up, to pivot, to go in it, like, because it can take longer and it can be so frustrating. How do you know?
Yeah, it's a fabulous question, and the answer is you really don't know. And I'm going to give you one quick story. I have a friend that started an internet business, and after about 2 years that he was doing this and putting money into it, I could tell it was probably not going to succeed. And after that 2-year mark, and he was a very close friend from college, he had some personal tragedy in his life. I said, Bob, you really ought to consider, if nothing else, getting a paying job. Getting a paying job. Still pursue what you want to do if this is your passion or your love, but get another job to pay the bills. After his 4th or 5th year and costing him well over $500,000, he finally said, okay, Bill, you were right 3 years ago. It's time to throw in the towel. You have to be honest with yourself. But again, it goes back to your personal board of directors. Talk to other people that are smarter than you in these areas and say, what do you think? Do you think I should stay with this or not? You will get honest opinions. And that's how I've always governed my life.
And when I have a question for my own self, I want this answer. When you talk about your board of directors, are those people that you're actually bringing on, or are those people that you value, that you've brought into your circle?
Yeah, those are people that the latter. Those are people, those are friends, in some cases family, in some cases people that I've met along the way in my business and career life. And by the way, a board of directors, not like a company, is not set. You don't say, okay, I'm having these 9 or 15 or 30 people. Boards of directors always grow. When I start a new business, I have a new group that's on my board of directors. People that know more about this business than other people that I've been associated with. But I will tell you that I have a core of probably, I don't know, 10 to 15 people that are very, very close friends. And they're all different walks of life. Some are older, some are younger, some are black, some are white, some are women, some are men. I'm big on diversity. I'm big on diversity. And I want people from all walks of my life in life to give me opinions about what they think.
Can you tell everybody about your Smarter Minds Network as well?
Yeah. So I consult, and my book kind of tells the story of my successes, some of the things that I've done, some of my failures, some of my interesting stories. I had a business one time called it was a radio production company called Barnett, and we produced and syndicated radio programs. And I get a call out of the blue one day, and from somebody that I did not know, and you wouldn't have known him at the time. Of course, everybody knows him now. And he says, I've got a company, a radio company, a record company that would be interested in buying your company. And we were only 3 years old at the time. And they said, we have a record label. We'd like to promote a lot of our records. And so he said, would you like to come in and have a meeting? It turned out to be that person was Bob Kardashian. And I got to be close with all of the Kardashians. Obviously, they were much younger at the time before their big success. And it turned out MCA Records, which was then NBC Universal, bought my company. And an interesting story about talking about networking, the president of MCA Records happened to be a big tennis player. And I played tennis in college, and I love tennis. And every Sunday, I ended up going to his house to play in these pro amateur round robins. And I built our business on our friendship. That's how networks and that's how business grows. And I always tell people, you know, when you're going in for an interview, again, I don't mean to change the subject here, but when you're going in for an interview, don't make it about the interview. Make it about a conversation. Make it a two-way conversation. Show interest in the person that's interviewing you. Show interest. I walk into an office and I notice all the things on the wall. Did they ski? Do they play tennis? Do they travel? Did they go to USC where I went? What are commonalities? Do they have kids? What are commonalities that we have that I can turn this into a friendly conversation and not an uptight interview? Make friends. Becoming likable is one of your key areas to success. Become a likable person. Smile, talk, engage.
What's the best way that people can connect with you?
Go to my smartermindsnetwork.com. They can reach me through there. I do consulting. I work with a lot of young adults. I work with everybody. But just go to my website. They can connect with me through that. They can find my book through that. My whole area is centered around that website.
Okay, good. What do you love most about your life right now?
I love my independence. I love the fact that I can do anything I want whenever I want to. You know, there's a term called FIRE, financial independence, retire early. I'm not a believer in that. I'm a believer in FIPA, financial independence, pivot anytime. I can do whatever I want anytime because I worked hard when I was younger and I was smart with what I did. And now I can spend time with my kids. I can spend time with my wife. If she says, let's pick up and let's go to Santa Barbara for the weekend, we can do it. I love my independence and I love the fact that I'm so close with my family.
Oh, I love that answer. I can't thank you enough for being on this show, for writing this book, for having this network, because I think it's so, so needed. And I'm so glad that people have this resource.
It's absolutely my pleasure. And I really enjoyed talking to you.
Come back anytime. The book is called Smarter Minds. We'll take a break and be right back after this. Don't go away. Thanks, Bill. Life is difficult. Are you feeling overwhelmed or like you could use a little support for your mental well-being? Visit the Help Hub. It's the most comprehensive and inclusive free online destination for mental health resources, helpful tools, crisis hotlines, and supportive content. Just go to thehelphub.co to find the resources you need when you need them most. Unlike other resource pages, the Help Hub is divided into 16 different categories, ensuring that everyone in every community has access to the resources and support that matches their unique needs. Find the help you're looking for at thehelphub.co. Welcome back, everyone. Hey, I hope you had a great week. I did. It's been a fantastic week of shows. I've got a fun weekend. This afternoon, I'm filming an episode with the Wolf Media Fest podcast that is back for season 2, so that's exciting. I have a happy hour to go to. I have a baby shower for 2 of my friends. I have a game night. It's going to be a busy weekend. I don't usually have weekends that busy, but I'll be tired on Monday when I see you again. So let me know what you're doing this weekend. Are you at the pool? Are you lounging around? Are you working? What's going on this weekend? I hope it's a great weekend for you. Go make your day richer. Go make somebody else's day richer. You've made mine by watching this show, and I love you for it. And we will see you on Monday. Have a great weekend, everyone. Bye-bye.